Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. I've done a couple of fishing trips this year and the boat is already disgusting. So today I'm going to show you how to deep clean an aluminum boat, have it nice spick and span. And fortunately, Better Boat was kind enough to collaborate with me on this project. I've worked with them in the past and I've really enjoyed their product. So here we are again today with a few new ones. But we got pollen, we got mud, we got dirt. We have leaves, sticks. We're going to go through this entire thing, get it nice and cleaned up, because a well-maintained and cared for boat is going to be a much more enjoyable boat to use. Now, before I get started on this deep clean, I want to go ahead and remove everything off the boat that I can within reason. Seat pedestals, trolling motor, on the quick release mount. I want to get everything out of the storage compartments that's not bolted down. That's going to let me get all these nooks and crannies clean, but also all my safety gear that's in these compartments that I don't check on. I'll go ahead and make sure that they're in good shape, that I don't have to worry about replacing anything, see if anything's missing or blown out of the boat that I'm not aware of, or sometimes I have stuff in here that I've forgotten about that I don't need to repurchase, like old lures and things of that nature. Now that I've taken everything off the boat, it's going to make it a lot easier to access all of these areas, and I could see some areas that definitely need some cleaning where I wasn't thinking about earlier because I had so much stuff in the way. But I want to take out the loose debris in the boat, and that's going to be sticks, leaves, some top dirt that's very loose, and all that's going to go somewhere, right? Especially when you start cleaning, putting water on it, and it's going to go to the bilge. Well, these tracker grizzlies don't have great bilge access, and eventually it will clog that bilge up. So last thing you want is that to happen, especially when you really need it out in the water and some rough wakes, things of that nature. So prevent it from going to the bilge and having to dig it out by hand later, I want to go ahead and use the shop vac and pull all this out. You don't necessarily need a shop vac, I just happen to have one. You can use your hands, you can use a pan and a duster, several different options to do this, but definitely want to do it before you wash the boat so you don't have to worry about grabbing it and getting it out of the bilge later. So this exterior boat cleaning kit is going to give you everything you need, whether it be aluminum or fiberglass boats, things of that nature. You have a high enough volume in here, you're going to be able to spray pretty good sized boats. I would say up to probably 25 feet with one can. You might have to do a little bit extra for anything larger than that. But with that canister there, we have our nozzle, our spray. So this is going to be our foam cannon, which will help set up the boat a little bit better, help it stick to the hull. There's our boat soap. It's concentrate, so we will pre-mix that. So the good thing about concentrate is, of course, you're not going to go through an entire bottle. You do have to mix it with water, but that's very small potatoes in the grand scheme of things versus just getting a cut product where you can continuously buy. We also have the microfiber towels and the sponge. I will explain when this is a great thing to use and when you really want a deck brush, obviously for a deck, but in the case for my boat, these thick bristles I want to use everywhere. And then finally, top all things off, we got this water spot remover. This is going to be great for the engine cowling once everything's said and done, especially for those very warm days if you don't have much shade and everything just dries so quickly. Now, there are a lot of finishes on boats. If you have a fiberglass boat, you likely have a gel coat and a clear coat. This is going to be great. The exterior cleaning package with the spun, the magic eraser, the microfiber towels for cleaning off that console or other areas that see lighter wear or really smooth finishes. You know, put the soap on, use this, wash them down. That'll keep any scratches from forming, things of that nature. Perfect. Now mine's an epoxy finish, and I forget what type of clear coat it has, but it's very tough. I want to say it's a diamond clear coat. So I'm going to use a thick bristle brush for the entire boat, just because I'm not too concerned about scratches in the side or in the clear coat in this particular case. I have a lot more nooks and crevices because of the topography of the boat, because it's got that grit in it to give you more texture. So thicker bristle brush is going to get into those crevices better and clean better. But for center consoles, I would recommend probably the medium or soft bristle brush for that application. It'll do just fine on that since that's a smoother surface, and that material is going to come off easier. It's less to grab into. Now on top of that, I gotta love this rubber bumper on here, especially if I was in a fiberglass boat when I was working charter trips and whatnot. This will jump gently into the gunnels of the boat, things of that nature. You don't have to worry about damaging it. And this pole floats, stainless steel, nice and rigid. It's not going to flex on you. I've had that issue in the past. With the telescoping capability, very smooth by the way, especially put a little oil on that if it does get a little bit more difficult. You're going to be able to reach high, and you're going to be able to get to the top of your center consoles, your T-tops, things of that nature, everything you really need. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get the soap on here, get it wet down, and start doing the actual cleaning. Fortunately, this came with very good instructions, so just by reading the card, I went ahead and assembled the foam cannon itself. And then for the boat soap, since it's a concentrate like I mentioned, it's going to go a long way. Approximately 1 cap is going to be 1 ounce. So by the directions, I went ahead and put 2 ounces to 3 ounces in there. I'm going a little bit heavier just because I do have a good bit of mud. However, if you just need a light scrubbing, 1 or 2 caps is going to be plenty. Obviously, with a container that size, it's going to last you all summer, even if you're taking the boat out once a week. Now, with everything assembled, it's time to go ahead and start foaming the boat down. That soap's completely out. I'll go ahead and get the brush and start scrubbing. That soap should have penetrated pretty well, so I just need to do a light bit of scrubbing. But now I'm going to wash off this side of the boat just so we get a pretty good idea, make sure my concentrate was adequate and that I used the right ratio of water to soap. And once I know that, I can go ahead and scrub the rest of the boat. That's already looking remarkably better than what it was. All I gotta do is a little bit more scrubbing. I'll get the top side, the back side, and then we'll go over the engine cowling. These Tohatsu cowlings really do tend to scratch quite easily. Now, all cowlings will. This one I just know is very prone to it. So I wanna make sure it's nice and still wet down. I'm going to use a microfiber towel. This is going to get that soap off and any abrasives. And since I've already rinsed it down with the soap and everything, that hopefully got most of the material off, I'm just going to wipe it down. Now, a lot of people say probably don't need to use circular motions to do this correctly. You would go in one way, one linear motion, makes it easier to get out any scratches later. If you're going to paint correct, however, not a big deal for me for this cowling. The way I use this boat and get into some of this thin stuff, it's going to get scratches on it, so I'm not terribly concerned in this instance. With all that done, it's time to use the last thing in my kit, and that's going to be that hard water spot remover. You can probably see several of those already from some previous outings with the boat, water getting kicked up. I want to go ahead and remove that with a dry microfiber towel. It's going to be a little bit difficult to pick up, but I got water spots all over the place. So I want to use this water spot remover. I'm just going to work in a small area, so I'm going to spray some on. Right here on the top of the cowling, right there. I'm using a dry microfiber towel as the instructions called for, and I'm just going to rub it in. And hopefully it's going to remove those water spots and give this engine cowling a pretty good gleam. Now the other thing to do is add some wax over the top of that. And that actually has made a big difference. I don't see hardly any water spots right through this area anymore. So now I just got to go through the entire cowling, get those water spots knocked out. And you see the reflection of everything in that. That did an amazing job. Now on for the rest of this, and we'll be knocked out. Overall, the boat came out fantastic. I got 95, 98% of it clean. Plenty for my needs and what I'm going to be doing. Can't wait to take brim fishing very soon. But anywho, a couple of things I would have done a little bit differently. Number one, along the side of the boat, I probably would use a middle or light bristle brush. I damaged some of the vinyl stickers and things of that nature using that hard bristle. That's my mistake, certainly can't blame them. However, the thick bristle brush did a great job on decking some of those harder stains up. Now, something else I would do on the inside of the boat is after I went through with a hard bristle brush, I probably come in with a soft one. That hard bristle is going to break up those chunks, any really heavy stains, and then that softer bristle is going to help kind of get into all the nooks and crannies because they just have more bristles on them, so more opportunity to hit those areas and get any of the little bit of remaining that's already been kind of pulled from the surface, and that'll get it cleaned up a little bit better. Now, big thank you to Better Boat for sending some of this stuff out. This is a U.S. company. They make their stuff in the U.S., so I'm happy to support them. And like I said, I've been with them for years, and I've been very happy with their products. Now, if you're interested in their stuff, I'll go ahead and link it somewhere up here or up here, one of the corners. Also link it down in the description below so you can go check those out. And if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to share, like, subscribe for more. And as always, thanks for watching.